Hi, welcome back. Or if it's your first time here, hello, welcome. I'm Allie, my husband is Andy, and we are High Forest Homestead. Today we're kind of taking a break from our normal homestead day in the life, how to do things. We are learning how to do kind of videos. And we're going to talk about kind of a hard subject. Hard in the sense that this is me putting it all together. Something I've never really done before. And hard that it may be difficult for you to hear. Maybe you are looking for someone who has a similar experience or has gone through something similar, or you're in the process of about going through the same thing, or you're just curious. So we're going to talk about our multiple miscarriage, multiple stillbirth story. Multiple midterm loss / stillbirth story. I am going to try to keep this as raw and unedited as possible, and we'll just see how that goes. So you have been warned, and just know that. You might be wondering why Andy's not here. Now, this is something that I have challenged myself with to share. It's not that I've never shared any of this information before, it's just I've never shared it in this way. I've shared it with words on social media in certain ways. I have shared verbally parts of our story with different people. But this was a challenge for myself for this month. My hope was to put it out last week. So today is Friday, August 25th. I don't know if I'm going to get it out today. Probably tomorrow. I'm hoping to get it edited today. And if I can keep it as raw and to the point and unedited, then I can just get it there. But so maybe it's up today, on Friday, probably Saturday. Anyway, but this is a challenge that I put on myself for National / International Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Day. Then it turned into the week, and then it turned into at least getting it out this month. So here we are. This is why some of you haven't seen any homestead style videos from us for a little while, because in the process of preparing myself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, grief really set in, and I dealt with the grief in more ways than just YouTube, and I still am. Grief is really interesting, and it's really difficult, and you can't always vocalize the grief and how it feels. But this is one way of me processing that grief. So, just here's our story. And if you're interested, I can, in Andy's perspective on all of this, you can leave a comment below, please, and we will work on that video. We're really open to sharing. We're very willing to share that information with you. So please let us know. So to give you some background, we were married in May of 2007. About 6 months later, we decided to really just be open to the idea of having children, and we found out we were pregnant pretty much right away. So I was pregnant with our oldest. That pregnancy went very well, very smoothly, and she was born by emergency C-section because of a failed version. She went into distress, but other than that, everything went well. She was healthy, I was healthy, we all recovered well. And then we decided to wait a little while to expand our family. And then we struggled with some fertility issues for several years. But we remained open to the idea, and in September 2013, found out we were pregnant. And October 17th, 2013, we went in for our first appointment. We had our first ultrasound. They found 2 sacs, but only 1 baby. What they said was the second one likely had already miscarried. And then we got some more challenging news. The baby that was still there had a very erratic heartbeat, that they said we were likely miscarrying that baby, and to come back in about 2 weeks for another ultrasound. And we did. And we, on October 30th, 2013, and we found out that we miscarried that baby as well. We were given 2 options at this point: to let my body naturally miscarry, or to go with the surgical option of a DNC. At the time, because of multiple reasons, we decided to try and let my body naturally miscarry. We went home and started the grieving process of just kind of those lost dreams and excitement and everything. So that was, I want to say that was probably a Wednesday or Thursday. The following weekend, so November 5th, 6th, we went to northern Wisconsin with some of our friends to their cabin, and just for a fun weekend. And my body had not done anything naturally yet, and we were just kind of rolling with it. We would see what happened, because on that Monday, if nothing had happened, I was calling and we would schedule the DNC. Like, that was our agreement. Lo and behold, on Saturday, November 7th, my body did what it needed to do in the miscarrying process while we were in northern Wisconsin with our friends. I ended up passing out twice from blood loss, and I was taken to the hospital by our friend and Andy. She knew where it was. She knew how to get there. My understanding is that she drove very fast. I was pretty incoherent for the drive. Andy kept talking to me to make sure I didn't pass out again. And I was kind of teetering on that. Anyway, we get there, and ultimately I ended up having a DNC. After all of that, Andy and I had verbally said out loud to each other, I'm not doing this anymore. We can't struggle with this. This is very traumatic and tragic on the way that everything happened. We don't need any more kids. This is just, to go through all of this is it worth it? So we kind of had that mentality for several months. And then it was like we got a tapping on the shoulder, just keep trying. So we did. And in March 2014, found out we were pregnant again. It was a cautious, guarded excitement, but there was hope. And we had ultrasounds at so we had our first ultrasound at 7 weeks, and then we had another ultrasound at 9. And And then we had another one around 12 weeks. And everything was going really well. And after the first miscarriage, so it was a first trimester miscarriage, it was deemed like that was kind of a fluke situation. And it was a first trimester, so there was probably something genetically wrong, whatever. The list of reasons why there's miscarriage. So we get into the second trimester, and everything's still going really well, and it was really exciting. And then you start to feel the kicks. On July 5th, we had to run to a local store to get a couple things before we went back out with my husband's family, which is about 45 minutes from us. Half hour, 45 minutes. And Andy was in one section of the store, and our oldest daughter and I were in another section. All of a sudden I got this there's a soft, weird pain, and I verbally heard a pop, and water started gushing. To try and articulate what went through my head at that moment was, well, okay, did I just pee myself? Or did my water break? Because I'm far too early in this pregnancy for my water to break. I must have peed myself. Like, the baby must have been in the right position, it must have kicked my bladder, and I peed myself. But I'm gonna run to the bathroom and see. And I had just come back from the bathroom with my daughter at the time, and you know, she's screaming, "I don't have to go to the bathroom again!" And I'm just like, "Well, I need to go to the bathroom, so you need to come with me." And I was freaking out. I had no idea what was going on, because if I did go to the OB triage area, they would ask me, what color was it? Did it smell? Any of that stuff. And she literally would not come with me. And I literally left her in the middle of the store to go to the bathroom. She followed me in there. She arrived in there right after I did. It was one of those parenting choices. I was still leaking fluid. Tried to call Andy, and at the time there was no cell phone service within that store. I finally found Andy, and I said, "We need to go." And he had the look on his face. And I said, "I think my water broke." And he's like, "Are you joking?" No. We literally had a cart full of stuff, and just the fear on his face and in his eyes, I can't, like, it's burned in there. It's burned in there. I have to go to OB triage, and we just have to confirm what's going on. And I tried to stay as calm as possible, while just completely freaking out on the inside. So we go to OB triage, we get all checked in and all of this stuff, and they confirmed that my water had broke. They said there was pretty much no amniotic fluid left around the baby, and I was already dilated to like a 2. So my body was already starting the labor process. Our oldest daughter was in the room, and she asked what it all meant. And she looked at us and she said, "So does this mean I'm not getting a baby brother or a baby sister?" And the way that she fell into Andy and just collapsed, and the cries. The way her heart broke was more severe than I had ever imagined. So we called her parents. I think mine were out of town. So Andy's parents came up to get her. And she stayed with them and all of her cousins for the rest of the day. Now this was around like noon, 1 o'clock, I think, that they came to get her. Maybe it was a little bit later in the afternoon, I'm not sure. And his mom asked if there was anything that we needed, anything that she could do, and he just asked her to say a prayer with us for this process. And she did. And to this day, the prayer she said is the prayer we say every day as a family before bed. It's called Moriah. It's a beautiful prayer. After our oldest daughter left, we were transferred to labor and delivery, and we were monitored, and we won't go into the entire process, but I did labor and deliver. And at about 8:05 p.m., Henry Richard was delivered. And that was very traumatic because they were actually putting in the epidural. And I told them they had to stop because they thought they had more time. So on July 5th, 2014, at 8:05 p.m., Henry Richard was born sleeping. We did confirm that he had passed away before the whole process really got too far. And he looked just like his older sister. The grief and guilt that I felt from all of that still shows up on random days, and I can't even begin to tell you how hard it is. And our oldest daughter still asks about him all the time, and we still ask him to pray for us, and we pray for him. We did do a graveside service at the cemetery for him. He's buried next to my grandparents. Really struggled with that because the pregnancy was going so well. Everything was